Hello, hello, hello. This is Shirley Ross, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am going to share with you one of the cards we created at my Coffee and Cards this past month, and it is called a fanfold card, and it's like all the rage all over the YouTube, so I've seen quite a few, and I was inspired by Deb Smeek. I made some changes to her, so I am going to make 2 cards at a time. I've already cut most of the items for one, but what you're going to do is start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. You're going to cut it in half at the lengthways, so that 5.5, so you'll have 2 card bases. Then you're going to, let me move this because we're going to do the score blade first. So we're going to put it in at 4.25, and we're going to score it there. Then I'm going to slide it over to the 2.5. And I'm going to make a pencil mark right there. And then we're going to take that pencil mark, angle our card base so that we are cutting from that pencil mark to the bottom right corner. All right. So there you have your card base. So that gives me, I did that 2 times, so I have 2 of those. All right. We're going to save those. The next thing we're going to do is get a piece that is 4 by 5.25, and again we're going to mark it at the 2.5 point. We are going to put it in the trimmer so that the pencil mark is there and the tip is in there. So it's up. It's going to be the left-hand mark where the 2.5 is to the bottom right corner. And then we're going to do something else with that. So I'm going to put this to the side with the card base. So I'll put that here with the card base. Now, what I want to do is we're going to need another small piece. And we're going to use this one because I don't like to waste paper. So we're going to turn it over, and we're going to cut 1/4 inch off the bottom. Like that. Then we're going to put it in the trimmer at the 1.5 mark. I'm going to do it this way. 1.5 mark. And the tip is down here. All right. I'm going to try not to move it. There we go. Now hold it. And then we have this smaller piece. We're going to use that in just a moment. So the only leftovers you have are these pieces that you cut off. And I'm using I had some 6x6 scrap paper, so I'm trying to use that up. We're going to take a second designer series paper collection, and it is going to be at 2.25 by 4.75, and we're going to cut that from edge to edge, top left to bottom right. And I'm going to start in the center because I don't want to smush my corners. And this is going to be the piece that goes on the larger piece here. So if you want to go ahead and attach that, you can. All right. I'm learning not to put too much liquid glue on. I'm trying to use up all my stash liquid glue. So that one goes there. And because we're making 2, let me find the other one. Here we are. All right. Probably could put a little bit more on, but you want to kind of get a nice edge, so that goes with this one. All right, and then the last piece we're going to cut is some scrap. I use my scraps for this part, and this is going to be a 2.25 by 4.75. Yeah. And again, we're going to cut it from the upper left to the bottom right. All right, and then the small pieces that we created will be used in those spaces. So we have that one there, and this one here. All right, so let's go ahead and attach them. The reason you want two different DSPs is they are going to be matted on top of each other, and this gives you a contrast. There you are. If you want to do more matting, you can just change the measurements up. Use some 8s in there, and you can do multi-matted sections. For the video, I just kind of wanted to make it simple. There we are. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece here. Put some adhesive on it. And because it was a 1/4 of an inch all the way around smaller than the card base, then you get your mat. You might want to use your bone folder to, got a little bit crooked, but that's all right. Let's do it again. Now, one thing I always share is that we are making these homemade, so they are not going to be perfect. They're going to be handmade. A little bit of difference is nice. There we are. All right. Now, if you want, you can take a piece, like I have some left over of this, and cut it and put it in the corner. So if I was to just cut this to 5.5, then I could put it in here. And I believe if I cut it, I could put it in both of those cards. Let's give that a shot, see what happens. All right. So that can go in here. That gives you a contrast. That would be nice. And then the same thing with this one. So that would work. All right, so I will put that to the side. That was just an added little thought at the moment. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the larger one in, and we are going to line it up so that the two top edges are inside the card base, and the bottom is at the edge down here. Now what you can do is flip it over, kind of mark it so that you know not to put any adhesive above that line. I did a very light line, and that way you don't accidentally attach it. Now if you wanted to pop it up, you can. All right, now we'll do that. Let's get some foam tape out here. Let's do the small one. And then this one is the same pattern as that, and it's going to go in the center here. And again, if you want to flip it over and do a little mark so you know not to put your adhesive above that line. There we are. This is a very pretty, elegant looking card, I think. And again, yeah, you want to kind of make it, I like it to be higher. But I want the point to match down here. There we are. So there we go, and then we want to put a sentiment on it, and I don't see, yeah, I think I might have one over here, an already cut out sentiment piece. I may have one. Yes, I do, hold on. So you can do a sentiment piece here. That's a little big. I suggest a 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. You can cut it out. Let me see if I have. I must have given that one to somebody else. I'm looking in some of these old card kits that I have to see if I have a piece already cut. But it appears, here's one. This will work. You can do one like that. So you can do whatever size. This one I actually did from a die. So I love the die. Is the Textured Notes die. I love that one. This one works really good. All right, so we finished one. Let's finish the other. We'll put some adhesive right here. Put this on the inside. I'll do the other inside on the other one in a moment. This just gives you some texture to the back. All right. And then this one is going to go here. And again, line it up like that. All right, and if you want to pop this one up, you can. I'm going to use some of this edging on my dimensionals. I like to use up as much as I can on the dimensionals. All right. And then again. Perfect. And then if you want to, you can pop this up or you can do this one straight. And I'm just going to put some adhesive down here. I'm pretty sure that's going to be definitely far enough down. Line that up. And there you are. It's ready for the sentiment. And this one just needs this textured piece. And that way it's a real quick 2 cards. I probably didn't cut this very straight from corner to corner, so I may be trimming a little bit off the bottom of this one. There we go. 2 cards. Just needs their sentiments and it's ready. So I hope you enjoyed my quick video on the fan fold card, and I hope to see you again soon. This is Shirley Ross, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator.